Hi, it's Jason Gorber here from thatshelf.com here at the Cannes International Film Festival, where we just saw the premiere of Rocketman. It is Dexter Fletcher's love letter to Elton John, and Taron Egerton stars as the man himself, and it is remarkable. Look, this is a very different film that I think that people might be expecting. We've sort of got spoiled in some ways, rightly or wrongly, with Bohemian Rhapsody, which is a straight-up biopic. We have an actor, Rami Malek, who's like lip-syncing. This is a musical. This is an unabashed musical. The director, after all, did Sunshine on Leith, this beautiful sort of film involving the Proclaimers music. So as it's structured, this is Taron Egerton embodying the idea of Elton John, just the way that musicals can actually bring heightened reality to the whole thing. He sings beautifully in it, and the entire cast sort of brings to this story the icon, the myth of what it was for a guy, this sort of chubby kid who was Reginald Dwight, to become this icon that is Elton John. The way that the film actually plays out is very interesting. It starts basically with Elton John telling his story to a group of people. And as it goes back and forth in time, you have songs that are not in chronological order, not historically accurate in some ways, but nonetheless tell the emotional truth of the story. And that is key. As a big Elton John nerd, I know where there's playing with the truths about what they're softening, about these sort of record deals that go away. In something like other biopics, that just sort of seems cheap, like they didn't really know what to do and how to do it. Because this is a heightened world, because this is a musical, it really works. It allows that sort of telling of this tale to rough off a few edges, but still nonetheless get into the heart of what it was, what it is to be this incredible entertainer. The way that they've incorporated the songs and rearranged them and made the songs their own is sort of what they've done to Elton's story itself. They've made their own version of the Elton John mythology, just like Reginald Dwight did. And because of that, it works supremely well. Taron Egerton is amazing in it. He really is. He absolutely embodies the character. He looks the part, and his singing is gorgeous. They do actually a lot, which I love, where you actually have the actors singing to camera instead of singing to playback. And that emotional connection really, really works here. The arrangements, again, very clever. Recorded by George Martin of the Beatles fame's son at Abbey Road Studios. The soundtrack feels very much like another Abbey Road production, which was across the universe. Again, the musical that took the Beatles songs and twisted them on their head just slightly. Julie Taymor's sort of reimagining of the Beatles song in a jukebox musical. This is much more aligned with the Elton John story. It is, after all, somebody playing Elton John instead of a bunch of people singing within the Beatles world. But nonetheless, it echoes that sort of broad, sweeping musical and has the same sort of sense of wonder, the same sense of sort of magic of delving into this tale that's very different than many people might expect. I have no idea if it'll connect with general audiences. I certainly hope will. There's such charisma in the performance. There's such amazing musicality. Look, as the opening sequence is so strong, the ending can't quite sustain it as it sort of has to wrap things up. We kind of know where it's going to go. But there's such beautiful moments here along the way that I think is definitely worth cherishing. And to see this, as they talked about at the press conference, to see this with a community, with an audience, is a must. This is not something to sit at home and watch. This is something to go see on the big screen with big sound and actually have a group of people reveling in that sort of emotional connection they have with Elton. This is the closest you're going to get sort of the twist of an Elton concert, and having had the pleasure of doing so is an amazing community experience. So definitely check out Rocketman. Absolutely one of the highlights of Cannes Film Festival. It's not in competition, but I bet if it was, it would actually get a bunch of recognition, particularly for its performances. But really a film that easily could have seen self-serving and sort of self-aggrandizing turns instead into something truly remarkable and well worth seeking out. That's Rocketman. I'm Jason Gorber for thatshelf.com. Be sure to follow us on social media. We're at That Shelf or on Instagram on That Shelf. Look forward to plenty more Taron coverage to come, and all the best.